Hey everyone, it's Pam, and today I'm going to be playing around with some of my ColourPop palettes. As you can see here, I keep all of them in this little acrylic here, which can hold 8 palettes, and I've decided, for no particular reason, that means I can only have 8 ColourPop palettes. However, I recently bought myself a little Christmas gift, the At Forest site, Raw Beauty Christie palette, which I just think is so beautiful. I couldn't resist it. It's the exact kind of color story I like. So that puts me at 9, meaning that something has to go. However, I'm not going to just pick one to declutter. Instead, I'm going to do a little messing around with these. There's a few shades in some of these palettes that I'm just not a big fan of, and I want to replace them with other things, and then I will sort of combine probably these two into a new palette, and yeah, let's just see how that goes. So just for a little overview of all of these, I've got this brand new. I'm not going to mess with this one. I'm just going to leave it off to the side. This is the So Jaded palette from Kathleen Lights. This is one of my favorites. I love this, but if you know me at all, you know that I think that pressed glitters, if they belong anywhere, it is in the garbage. So I'm going to remove these and look for new shades that sort of have the same kind of feeling from other palettes to put in here. Also got the Zodiac, which is another Kathleen Lights ones. This is also not my favorite color story in the world, but I also think a lot of thought went into like which sign is which color. So I'm probably going to leave this one as is, but we'll see as we go. The Element of Surprise is an older one. It's one of the first ones I got, and the color story is honestly a little bit on the odd side, but there are some very pretty colors in here. So I am most likely going to be taking my favorites out of here and then combining them with You Had Me at Hello. I think this was the first ColourPop palette I ever bought. You know, this isn't the most inspiring. I have a lot of shades that are very similar to this already, so I will probably be in some way picking my favorites from these two palettes and combining them into one. The other ones I have are the Smoke Show, which I quite like. I don't think I'm going to mess with this one because I like this color story. Same thing with the Just My Luck, which is the green one. I think this is, oh no, I just dug my nail into it. That's what happens sometimes. I'm going to leave this one so I don't damage it anymore, I guess. Then we've got the Baby Got Peach palette, which I like, except it's got another one of those pressed glitters, so I'm going to be ditching that and replacing it with something else. Going Coconuts is a pretty good one. Look, another place where I've dug my nail into it. That didn't just happen now, though. This one's nice. All the shades are pretty good, so I'm just going to keep this one as is. And then lastly, the Making Mauves, which I really like the mattes in, but I'm not a fan of really any of these shimmers, so I may possibly replace one or two of these if I can find something of a similar story in another palette. Okay, so we'll start with So Jaded, and I want to get rid of Topaz and Opal. I'm not going to swatch these because I'll just end up with glitter everywhere, and that is not fun. So I'm just going to use this little tool and get them out, hopefully without, or I'll just dig it right into there, whatever. All right, made a little bit of a mess. You can see it's pretty, just, I don't know. I hate dealing with these things. And then we'll also take out Opal. This doesn't bode well. I think maybe this is the wrong tool for this, but get out of there, you bad sparkles. There we go. Let's see what I have to deal with at this very second. Yeah, you're laying on my makeup, you foolish, foolish dog. Okay, so the first thing we're going to take is this topaz color. So it's a sort of goldy kind of color. There's a little hints of green and maybe some oranges in it. The first thing that I was thinking was this color here, which I think is called either Winning Ticket or Fool's Rush. I'm not sure if it's like the color right under, I mean the name right under the color is the name, or if it like reads left to right. I've never really understood that with ColourPop. But let me swatch this here. This is sort of a goldy bronze color that, I mean, I think you could consider that a kind of topaz color. I just want to make sure it's not too similar to anything else. So in here we've got, I think Sunshine would probably be the closest one. Let's see how different they are. So they're fairly different. Topaz is quite a bit darker than Sunshine. So I think that would be a good replacement. Let me just see if there's anything in here. Okay, so in here we have this one. Let's try that. So this is definitely more on the pinker side. So yeah, I'm going to go with this one here, and I'm going to replace that with topaz. I'm going to try not to ruin this. So I'm just going to do this off camera so I can be better at it. All right, I have done it without ruining it. So this is going to go right here. Now, the other one is Opal, which I don't find this color is very opal-y. It's sort of got some like blue reflects in it more than anything, whereas I see opals more as sort of rainbowy colors. So the first one that I can think of is this one here, this iridescent white. That is the color that most says opal to me. Let me do it on here. So I think that's pretty opal-y. The other thing I was thinking was possibly this more purpley blue here. I think that's maybe a little too purple. I think the first one is a better match, so I'm going to use this one instead of the opal. Another successful extraction. So there we go. We've got our new So Jaded palette, completely free from pressed glitter other than the few specks that have gotten their way into here. But I'm pretty happy with that. I do like this topaz color. I think it'll get more use in this palette. And this is a very pretty iridescent. So I think that will work well too. So I think we're done with this one. So the offender in Baby Got Peach is this Hungry Ghost. I'll take this out. So that one came out very, very easily. This is like so pretty. It's white with a sort of a peachy tint or a peachy shift, but also a bluish shift, which I'm not really picking up on camera much right now, but it is in fact there. However, it needs to go. So with this, because this is a monochrome palette, I not only want to capture the colors from that glitter, but I also, want to keep it in the peach family. So, and you had me at hello. There's not a ton that I would call overly peachy. But then in Element of Surprise, we do have this color, which really seems like more of a pink, but it does have that blue flip to it, which I really like. So I'm going to just swatch this. I actually think this is a super pretty color. Again, it is a little more on the pink side, but I could possibly buy this as a peach if I needed to. There's not really a whole lot of other options. This one here is already quite similar to Darlin', so we don't really need two of that kind of color in there. And yeah, that's all I would really say. So I'm going to try to take this one out, which might be difficult. It seems to really be in there, and I'm going to replace that. All right, so we've got that out. I really love the blue flip in this one. It's very pretty. So let's see how it looks in here. I mean, I think that looks pretty good. It's, you know, maybe a bit cooler toned than the rest of the palette, but not too bad. I have glitter all over my pants, which sucks. Okay, so now we've got this Making Mauves palette, and I just find these are a little on the crumbly side. Like this one here, which is called Bicoastal. Like, it looks very nice and metallic on. Actually, that goes on really nice. I'll probably keep that one. A la Mode. Okay, this one. Yeah, it's very sort of crumbly and dry, and I don't like it that much. It does go on nicer here, but I can even like feel it. Like, it feels sort of gritty as I'm dragging it across my skin, whereas this one feels smooth. And then Mauve on top is... This one is actually okay. I like that one. So it's mostly just this middle one that I want to get rid of, so we can see what we can possibly replace that with. So I don't think we're going to get anything that's quite the same color, but we've got a few mauve possibilities. First, there's this sort of darker purple up here. This one's just a nice matte. That one is okay. I don't know. It seems like a little bit brighter than the rest, although I guess the color is sort of similar to that middle one there. We've also got these two here, which are other mattes. This one's feeling a little dry as I dip my finger into it. This one doesn't have a whole lot of payoff, although that kind of matches with the rest of it. And then this one is actually really nice. It felt more dry, but I actually really like how that color is, and I think that would go pretty well as a replacement for that middle shade. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I am going to take this color here, which is either FBO or Look-See, I'm not sure, and I'm going to replace that middle shimmer. These are the colors, so we're replacing the shimmer with this matte. Just drop it in there. So I think that looks pretty nice too. I actually really like that in the middle there. I think that's a more interesting color story than it was before. So I'm pretty happy with that replacement. So this is what we are left with. We have 20 shadows here to go in only 12 pans. So we're gonna need to do some swatching to figure out which ones are similar, which ones are nicer, which ones, you know, just aren't really needed at this point. So just at a first glance, we've got two sort of lighter mattes that could be like an all-over shade for me. So we've got this one here, and we've got this one. One is more on the brownie side, and one is more on the pinky side, or even more peachy. So got this one and this one. So it's probably hard to see them on my skin, but I actually like this lighter one. It'd be a nice all-over shade, or like on the brow bone for a matte. So I'm going to get rid of this color here then. All right, so that one's going away. Now in here we've also got two very light, very similar feeling shimmers. I'm actually going to go more in the sort of like icier, peachier direction rather than the more kind of like brownie nude direction, but I'll just swatch them to make sure. The one and the two. Actually, those are both really quite pretty. You know what? I've changed my mind. I like the more neutral color one than this cooler one, so I'm going to say goodbye to this guy. Alright, goodbye, friend. Alright, so some other similar shades I see here are this brown and this brown. They look quite similar. Yeah, they're pretty similar. I'm going to go with this one. It looks like beautiful suede, and I like that color more. So again, we're going to get rid of the You Had Me at Hello color. Goodbye. All right, 5 more shades to go. I'm going to compare this color. I can't even really tell what this is. It's like a brown with a pink micro glitter in it, and you know mattes with micro glitter are not my favorite. So we'll see what this looks like here. I mean, it is a nice cool brown. I just don't like that glitter at all. And then we've got this sort of darker, this is almost like a purpley brown, which is pretty nice. Oh, it's very smooth. Oh, and it's much, much darker. I'm going to keep this one here. It's a nice deep color. It'll work to really like deepen up any look in the eventual palette. Goodbye, pink micro glitter. All right, so some more similarities. There's actually a lot of similarities in this palette. This is one of my favorite colors in any ColourPop palette. It's not super impressive to swatch because it's fairly light, but it's just this beautiful dusty rose color. Ignore the sparkles. Those were left over. I love it. This one's very similar. Yeah, just a little bit sort of more cool toned, but I love this one. It's also closer to being panned, which makes me sad that I might run out of it one day, but definitely keeping this one. Love this, and I'll get rid of that one. You know what? I'm kind of having second thoughts about this just because I really like this color too. There's a matte with micro glitter in the Making Mauves palette, and maybe I'll replace that. What do you think? Again, I don't love the micro glitter. This is definitely cooler, but this one's pretty similar. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. So saying goodbye to this mauve with micro glitter. And that's the Making Mauves palette now. I actually think this has a lot more life to it than it used to. This was always a pretty palette, but it was always very, like, desaturated. This looks, I don't know. I think this looks better, actually. Tell me what you think in the comments. I'm just going to do some moving around. We decided to keep this shimmer here. So I'm going to put it up here. All right, so we've got a bunch of shimmers here that are somewhat in the same vibe. I'm going to just swatch all of them and we'll see what we think. That's sort of a beautiful rose gold. Again, ooh, that's gorgeous. Wow. My fingers and my arm are a little wet, so these are showing up a little bit more vibrant than they would otherwise, but this guy and this guy. Oh man, they all look so pretty when they're wet. Oh, this is a tough decision. This rose gold is super, super pretty. This is nice, and it sort of goes with the purples in this. I like this. This is sort of the most unique. And this is sort of a bronzy, coppery color. Man, this is hard. Okay, let's swatch these two purples instead. Oh, it's a little powdery. Also, my arm's not wet anymore. So we've got this purple up here, and then we've got this purple here. What do you think? The first one's more pinky, I think. And this one's more purple. I actually kind of like this one, I think. So maybe I will get rid of this and have room for another shimmer. And so this guy's going. We're so close. Only need to get rid of 2 more colors. I'm just in love with these shimmers right now. So I'm going to pit these 2 guys against each other. My hands are getting very, very stained. All right, we're going to go for the other hand. So we'll take this guy, and we'll take this guy. This is a beautiful, like, suede color. And then this is more of a cool tone brown. I feel like I'm kind of getting rid of the really sort of warmer browns out of this. So I'm going to keep that one. So I'm going to take out this. So this guy's going away. And then before I make my last choice, I'm just going to move these 2 mattes that I've decided to keep over. Just 1 more to go. Also, I'm just going to swatch this pink for you since I think this is the only color that I haven't swatched yet. I just wore this in a look on like as an inner corner, and it looked so pretty. It's just like so vibrant and intense, and yeah, really like that. All right, I'm having a hard time making up my mind. I'm swatching these again on a dry arm. So we've got this guy up here. Beautiful kind of coppery color. This lilac, bluey shift. I really like that. Got this more cranberry with a bit of a gold flip to it. And we've got this rose gold here, which is beautiful. This more purpley one. And then the more brown. All right, so I've sort of narrowed it down in my head to one of these 3 in the middle. I think this purpley one is sort of the least unique of all of them. So yeah, I think I might get rid of this guy here. All right, that means these 2 shimmers are making their way into this palette. I'm just going to put them in here and we'll see what it looks like. I think I can organize this better. Be right back. Okay, so here is the new Element of Surprise palette. I'm pretty happy with this. I think we've got, you know, a couple sort of lighter transition or all over lid shades. We've got some cooler browns and this purple to like really deepen things up. We've got just a selection of beautiful shimmers. This one like sort of for the brow and inner corner, and then these sort of some duochromes down here, and then this beautiful pop of satin pink as well. Yeah, I kind of like this. I think this is a little bit more cohesive than the original palette was. And You Had Me at Hello is now empty. I guess we'll just put these colors back in here so that they don't get all over the place when I throw them in the garbage. Get rid of these evil, evil pressed glitters. A lot of these colors were very much the same. Like you can see here, we've got very, very similar shades here. Huh. That actually kind of looks like a pretty palette as well. Although this doesn't look all that different from the original because I think I got rid of so many colors from that palette. But yeah, this is going in the garbage, and that's it, I think, for this video and redoing my ColourPop collection. I guess just as a reminder, my new So Jaded Sans pressed glitters, which I much, much prefer. the new Making Mauves palette, which again, I think I'm happiest with the changes to this palette. Just like these two colors just like really gave it more life than it had before. And then in the Baby Got Peach, we've got rid of a micro glitter and put this more peachy with a blue shift in it, which gives it a little bit of a different dimension than it used to have. So yeah, looking forward to trying out these newly created ColourPop palettes. Thank you so much for watching. I'm now covered in both makeup and glitter, which is nice. I still have a sleeping dog right here, just breathing heavily and making noise. And then my jeans are just full of glitter. So that's it. Oh, Lily wants to be in this outro. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.